Dear students, I'm back with one or two chapters today. Like today, firstly, I will discuss about the chapter Forms of Market. Forms of Market is a very easy chapter, more or less theoretical chapter. Here, firstly, you need to know that questions this year may be set based on your concepts regarding the types of market or the forms of market. Categorically classifying, broadly classifying, there are four types or four forms of market: perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. The first type is perfect competition. The features of perfect competition you need to know first. Large number of buyers and sellers are there. Large number of buyers and sellers. Many buyers, many sellers. And that is why the implication of this feature that there is a large number of buyers and sellers is that no individual seller can influence the price in the market because each seller's share in the market is quite negligible. As there is a very large number of buyers and sellers, so each individual seller's share in the market is quite negligible. Second feature, homogeneous products. Homogeneous products means the products are identical, exactly identical, same in all respects. The implication of this feature is, as the products are homogeneous, so price will remain the same. Price will remain constant. Now, from this feature that homogeneous products are sold by all the sellers, we can say that in perfect competition market, each and every seller is a price taker. Now, why? Because price remains constant. And as they are all selling the same product, so price cannot be different. And now you may think, if the price is constant, who has set that price? Each and every seller is a price taker. Each and every seller has to accept that price, take it for granted, take that price which is going on in the market, charged with the other sellers. Who has set that price? Basically, in perfect competition market, the price which each and every individual seller is charging, that price is set not by an individual seller. That price is determined in the entire market by the market force of demand and supply, by price mechanism. By price mechanism, the price is determined in the entire market, whole market, and that price each and every seller is charging. So homogeneous products, the second feature and its implication. Third feature. The third feature is free entry and free exit. Freedom of entry and exit. At any point of time, if the existing sellers are all incurring losses, all the sellers are incurring losses, then some of the existing sellers may leave the market, may exit from the market. Free exit and free entry, if all the sellers are earning good amount of profits, supernormal profits, excess profits, then because of this, some outsiders, some external people, some external businessmen who were not doing this business so long, they may get attracted towards the business and they may enter the business. There is no restriction against that. So freedom of entry and exit, free entry and free exit. Now, what is the implication of this feature? Due to freedom of entry and exit, because of free entry and free exit, in the long run, all the firms will have normal profits. All the firms will have normal profit. By the way, I would have to say that this particular question, what is the implication of the feature of freedom of entry and exit? This question, particularly this question, specifically this question, came in ISC 2024. So it is less expected. It is expected that this particular question, the same question, may not be repeated. Anyway, so these are the first three features of perfect competition. Fourth feature, all buyers and sellers should have perfect knowledge about the market. All buyers and sellers should have perfect knowledge about the market. Next feature, there is no transportation cost. There is absence of transportation cost. It is assumed. It's a feature. And the last feature is, in perfect competition market, there is perfect mobility of the factors of production. The factors of production, like labors, can move from one place to another, from one seller to another seller. There is perfect mobility of the factors of production. So these are the features of perfect competition. Now, what type of question can be asked? Direct questions were asked in the past, but nowadays questions can be twisted a little based on your understanding. So a question can be asked, suppose, explain any two features or explain any four features of such a market in which the seller does not have to reduce the price in order to sell more. Because now here the answer is perfect competition. You have to explain the features of perfect competition, because in perfect competition price remains constant. As price remains constant, so at the same price different quantities are sold. Therefore, in perfect competition market, a seller, the producer or the seller, does not have to reduce the price in order to sell more. This kind of question can be asked. Now we come to the next type of market, which is a subtype of perfect competition. And that subtype is pure competition. P-U-R-E, pure competition. Now, pure competition is such a type of market in which there are only three features. Three. Number one, large number of buyers and sellers. Number two, homogeneous products are sold. And number three, there is freedom of entry and exit, free entry and free exit. Now you can understand that these three features are the first three features of perfect competition. So if you study, while studying the features of perfect competition, if you remember that the first three features of perfect competition are the only features of pure competition, then you don't have to study another separate answer. By studying that answer, that topic, features of perfect competition, while studying that, you remember that the first three features of perfect competition are the features of pure competition. Done. Now we come to monopoly. Monopoly is a type of market in which there is only one seller, single seller's market. Mono, single. Polus, P-O-L-U-S, the Greek word. Polus means seller. So single seller's market. The first and foremost, the first feature, the most important feature of monopoly market is, in monopoly market, the market consists of only one seller. There is only one seller. Second feature, in case of monopoly market, the product which is sold, the service or the product which is sold by a monopoly seller does not have any close substitute in the market. He is the only seller who sells that kind of product. Third, in monopoly market, there is closed entry. Entry of new forms is completely closed, restricted, fully restricted. Because if any new firm enters the market, it will not remain as a monopoly market. There will be more than one seller. That is why in monopoly market, entry of new firms is completely closed. Next feature. In monopoly market, the monopoly seller is the price maker, obviously, because in monopoly market there is only one seller and he doesn't have to depend on anything else in order to set the price. He sets the price, he makes the price according to his own wish and will. Sorry. So it is said that monopoly seller is the price maker. By the way, before going into the next feature, let me give you examples. Examples of monopoly can be In Kolkata, we have CESC, Calcutta Electric Supply Corporation. That CESC is the only organization which generates and supplies electricity in proper Kolkata. Then Indian Railways is another example. Indian Railways is another example. In the whole country, in India, we have only one organization, that is Indian Railways Department, who runs trains throughout the country. Okay, now what is the next feature? In monopoly market, the next feature is price discrimination. Now you may be asked a question, what is price discrimination? Price discrimination is a process in which the monopoly seller sells the same product at different prices to different customers or consumers, or in different markets. Now, while answering what is price discrimination, you have to answer like this. The monopoly seller sells the same product, you have to mention same product, at different prices from different customers or consumers, or in different markets. Now this feature, price discrimination, based on this feature, they can ask you question like, they can set an example, an excerpt can be given, where you can be given like CESC charges lower unit charge of electricity from the industries. That means for commercial purpose, unit charge of electricity is comparatively less, and that same electricity is sold to the households at a comparatively higher price. Or any other example can be set, and then the question can be, what is the practice called which is indicated in the question, and in which market is this possible? So this kind of question can be asked from this feature. So that is regarding monopoly. Now another subtype of monopoly is monopsony. M-O-N-O-P-S-O-N-Y. Monopsony is exactly the opposite of monopoly. In monopoly, what you learn? Monopoly is a market in which there is only one seller. One seller. Now, there is no need to specify the number of buyers in monopoly. Number of sellers is one. In case of monopsony, it's opposite. One buyer, single buyer. There can be several sellers also. There is no need to specify about the number of sellers, but only one buyer. And one more thing about monopsony. In monopsony market, the product which is sold, which is bought by that one buyer, the product is a specialized type of product. So that is regarding monopsony. Now we come to monopolistic competition. By the way, students, one advice to all of you, to everyone, when you are required to write an answer about monopolistic competition, it's a request to all of you, please write the full term, monopolistic competition. Please don't shorten it and write monopolistic market. You have to write the full term, monopolistic competition. Now, what are the features of monopolistic competition market? First feature, there is a large number of buyers and sellers. Large number, many buyers, many sellers are there. Very much like perfect competition. This is one similarity between perfect competition and monopolistic competition, that there is a large number of buyers and sellers. Second feature, in monopolistic competition, the products are differentiated. Product differentiation is done. The products are differentiated means the products which are sold by the sellers are close substitutes of each other. They are close substitutes of each other. They are similar products, but not same, but not exactly identical. And the products are differentiated. The products are made to look different by means of color, shape, size, fragrance, packing, brand name, and advertisements. In these ways, by these means, they are made to look different. So this is about product differentiation or differentiated products. Next, in case of monopolistic competition, there is freedom of entry and exit, exactly the same feature that is there in perfect competition. free entry and free exit. Then again, the same implication in the long run, the monopolistic competition sellers have or earn normal profit. No profit, no loss situation. Now in case of monopolistic competition, the monopolistic competition sellers are price makers. Very much like monopoly, they are also price makers. They do not have to depend on others. They set their prices of their products by their own independent pricing policy. Next feature. In monopolistic competition market, the selling costs are involved. Selling costs. Now what are selling costs? Selling costs are those expenditures which are incurred by the sellers to promote sales, to increase sales. Please do remember what are selling costs, because question can be asked based on this concept, selling cost. More particularly, selling costs are incurred for advertisements, giving free gifts, or giving salaries and wages to the marketing representatives, salesmen and salesgirls. All these selling costs are very important in case of monopolistic competition. So this is all about monopolistic competition. By the way, in case of monopolistic competition, what is the nature of the demand curve or average revenue curve? It is downward sloping, surely, because here it's found that if the monopolistic competition seller reduces the price, his sale would go up, his sale would increase. And if he increases the price, his sale would go down or decrease. Basically, the same type of demand curve or AR curve, average revenue curve, is applicable in case of monopoly. Same. Now we come to the next type of market, which is oligopoly. Oligopoly is the type of market in which there are few sellers. There are few sellers. Few in the sense there can be minimum two sellers and maximum number of sellers, which can be approximately 10, 12, 14 like that. Not a very large number. Second feature, as there are few sellers, so there is intense competition. There is intense competition, tough competition among them. Next feature of oligopoly. In oligopoly market, the products may be homogeneous or differentiated. Now, though we say, or it's written, we have to learn that in oligopoly, the products may be differentiated or homogeneous, but practically, the products are differentiated. But what do you have to write? While writing the answer, you have to write that the products which are sold in oligopoly market may be homogeneous or differentiated. Next feature. In oligopoly market, there are barriers against entry, obstacles, hurdles. It's not so free. New entrants, new firms will find it very difficult to enter the market and exist there. So, entry of new firms is very difficult because there are hurdles or obstacles or barriers are there. Now, who actually pose those barriers? The barriers are posed by the existing firms. Okay. So there are barriers against entry of new firms. Next feature. In oligopoly market, very much like monopolistic competition market, selling costs are incurred. Selling costs are incurred in case of oligopoly also. By the way, let me give you examples of oligopoly market in India. Like soft drinks market in India, there may be maximum 3 to 4 companies which are selling aerated artificial soft drinks. Then another example is the mobile telephone connection providers. How many can you name? How many you can name? You can name V, Airtel, Reliance or Jio, BSNL. That's it. So these are examples of oligopoly. Whereas in case of monopolistic competition, there are numerous examples which can be given, like potato chips or cosmetics or shampoo, pen, many examples, many are there. Anyway, let's come back to oligopoly. Selling costs are also very important as a feature of oligopoly. Selling costs are incurred for advertisements, for sales promotion, extra expenditures incurred by the firms for sales promotion. Now we come to the next feature. In oligopoly market, the firms are interdependent. Interdependent. Now, if you think that one firm has to depend on another firm or other firms for producing the product, no. It's not for producing the product. One firm depends on the other firms in case of price setting. In case of price setting, the interdependence is there. Like, for example, if Coca-Cola Company Private Limited, Coca-Cola Company observes that Pepsi Company has reduced the price of its product, then immediately, getting this information, immediately Coca-Cola Company will also reduce the price. So this kind of thing, this is interdependence. In this sense, we say interdependence. So here we find that as there is interdependence among the firms, a particular company's owner, the firm owner, he himself or she herself does not know what price he or she should set the price of the commodity, what will be the price of the commodity after a few days, after 2 days, or after 1 month. Because every now and then they have to keep a watch. They have to observe what the rival companies are doing. If the rival company reduces the price, then I have to reduce the price. So in this sense, the next feature comes. From this only we can have the next feature. That in oligopoly market, the firm's demand curve is indeterminate. Now this question is often asked in IS exam. Why is the demand curve in oligopoly market, demand curve for the product in oligopoly market by a firm owner is indeterminate? The term, the word indeterminate means cannot be determined. Cannot be determined. Now why is it that the demand curve for the product by an oligopoly firm cannot be determined? Obviously because a firm owner, he himself does not know what will be my product's price after 2 days. Then it's very uncertain. If my rival company reduces the price, I have to reduce the price. So I have the one company's actions or reaction depends on the action taken by the rival firm. So that's the reason why in oligopoly market, the demand curve for the product by an oligopoly firm is indeterminate. That's the reason. So these are the features of oligopoly. Now, there can be certain questions which I have already discussed while discussing all these features. Now, there can be some other questions like two similarities between perfect competition and monopolistic competition, two differences between perfect competition and monopolistic competition, two differences between monopoly and monopolistic competition, like these. Now, I said a few minutes ago only that in oligopoly market, a question can be why is the demand curve for a product by an oligopoly seller is indeterminate. Now, one more question. Before that, a common feature is there in oligopoly market, which is also there in monopolistic competition market, that is selling costs. Selling costs are also there in oligopoly market because the oligopoly sellers, they have to promote their products. Spending money on advertisements, spending money for giving salary and wages to the salesmen and salesgirls, or by giving free gifts with the products. Similar things like monopolistic competition. So these selling costs are common in monopolistic competition and oligopoly. Now there can be a question regarding selling costs. Name two markets in which selling costs are not required. Then the two markets are perfect competition and monopoly. In monopoly and perfect competition, selling costs are not required. Now, you may be given a short case study type of question where it may be given that such and such company, a particular company is spending such money on advertisement. It may be a food product company, processed food company. It may be a cosmetics company. Then the expenditure which is incurred by the company on sales promotion, on the advertisement, the excerpt or the passage or the short case study may be given based on that. And you may be asked, what is the cost incurred by the firm which is indicated in the excerpt given, in the passage given? Then your answer will be selling cost. Then you'll be asked, define that cost. Or what is that cost? Then you have to define it. Selling costs are those expenditures which are incurred by monopolistic competition sellers as well as oligopoly sellers for sales promotion, to increase, to promote the sales. And then you will be asked a question like, name two markets in which selling costs are incurred. It will be monopolistic competition and oligopoly. Or it can be named two markets in which selling costs are not required, which can be perfect competition and monopoly. So students, I have discussed as a summary the whole chapter, forms of market. I think you all consider this chapter to be quite easy. And believe me, you can get about more or less 5 marks or 6 marks from this question in ISC board exam. If not 5 or 6, at least 4. At least 4 marks. So this is quite an easy chapter. I think all of you can answer questions which are asked from this chapter. Thank you.